love, it's your girl Jessica. They say love can conquer anything, but A$AP Rocky's recent courtroom battle nearly put that theory to the test. Imagine facing a verdict that could tear you away from your loved ones for decades, especially right on the heels of a 37th birthday celebration for the mother of your children. How did Rocky go from a tense courtroom showdown to shopping sprees and reunion hugs on Rodeo Drive? The story behind his not guilty verdict and what really happened inside the courtroom has left everyone stunned. A$AP Rocky had been entangled in felony gun charges that cast a dark shadow over his personal and professional life. While many fans were used to seeing him on stage or draped in designer threads, very few suspected that a single court case could decide whether he'd spend years locked away. Yet that was exactly what was on the line as the jury deliberated. When the verdict arrived, it was surprisingly swift. Rocky was found not guilty. Relief was immediate, but the tension in the room lingered. A single guilty verdict might have wiped out his future with Rihanna, putting an ocean of time and uncertainty between them. Walking out of court as a free man, Rocky wasted no time heading to the bright lights of Beverly Hills. The world was about to see just how determined he was to reclaim his life. Rihanna's 37th birthday should have been an occasion filled with carefree celebration, but the looming possibility of losing Rocky for decades weighed heavily on the couple. Once the not guilty verdict was handed down, Rocky turned his focus to giving Rihanna a special day she'd never forget. He was spotted at Rodeo Drive, dressed in his usual flashy style, ready to drop some serious cash. Reports say he splurged on a gleaming Rolex and a collection of designer outfits, each one hand-picked for the love of his life. This wasn't just any birthday. For Rihanna, the tension of the trial had made every moment more precious. Finally, she could exhale, celebrating another year of life with Rocky at her side. The extravagance of the gifts only hinted at how deeply Rocky appreciated her unwavering support. After all, she had shown up in court day after day, demonstrating her commitment when many would have felt too overwhelmed to stand in the spotlight. While paparazzi cameras capture Rocky and Rihanna arriving at the courthouse, the real story played out inside those four walls. Rocky's defense attorney, Joe Taco Pina, often referred to as the Big Taco, became a pivotal figure. With a track record of both prosecution and defense, this was his 120th jury trial, so he knew exactly how to command a courtroom. Rihanna's presence was also impossible to ignore. Each day, she sat in silent solidarity, her very appearance signaling just how much was on the line. But that wasn't the only family element front and center. In a strategic and emotional move, Rocky's children were also brought into the courtroom. According to Joe Taco Pina, the decision was made because the judge planned to start jury deliberations that same day. If the ruling went south, it could be the last time Rocky saw his kids for a long stretch. By letting the jury see the genuine family bond, the defense offered a powerful reminder that real lives, not just headlines, were at stake. Many people recognized Joe Taco Pina, but fewer knew he'd once been guided by one of history's most well-known defense attorneys, Johnny Cochran. This legacy came through in the precise way Taco Pina laid out his arguments, weaving fact with narrative flair to keep the jury invested. Cochran's influence could be seen in the careful attention to details, the structured storytelling, and the insistence that proof must go beyond a reasonable doubt, something every juror takes to heart. By the time closing arguments rolled around, the strategy was clear. Underscore the gaps in the prosecution's story and expose any weak points in their star witnesses' testimony. Although nothing in a courtroom is guaranteed, the combination of Taco Pina's skill, Rihanna's unwavering support, and Rocky's personal authenticity gave the jury compelling reasons to question the prosecution's case. Ultimately, it worked. The verdict confirmed that the prosecution hadn't convinced the jury beyond that high threshold of doubt. The prosecution heavily relied on a key witness from Rocky's own circle, often referred to as A$AP Relly or ASAP in some accounts, who claimed Rocky had fired 2 shots at him. At first glance, having someone from within the A$AP collective willing to take the stand against Rocky seemed like a slam dunk for the prosecution. But the reality was far more chaotic. According to Taco Pina, the witness's behavior in court became wildly unpredictable. He supposedly hurled insults, flexed his muscles for intimidation, and at one point even admitted to perjury. Censoring his own language on the stand didn't seem to be a concern for him, and observers couldn't help but notice that his credibility was weakening by the minute. In short, each outburst chipped away at the foundation of the prosecution's case. It was the type of moment defense attorneys dream of: witness statements that unravel under the scrutiny of cross-examination. With each admission of dishonesty and every angry slip of the tongue, the question of whether Rocky had truly committed the crime became harder to prove. By the time the jury got the case, the star witness's testimony seemed as reliable as a house of cards in a windstorm. The possibility that Rocky could have been found guilty wasn't just a legal abstract, it was a nightmare scenario. He faced the real prospect of long-term separation from Rihanna and his children, a fate that could have reshaped both his personal life and his career. The atmosphere in the courtroom on that final day was tense. Even a fast verdict offered no guarantees until it was read aloud. When the jury declared not guilty, it wasn't just a victory for Rocky, it was a moment of profound relief for Rihanna, their children, and the millions of fans who'd been following every twist. Now, with the legal ordeal behind him, the rapper seems determined to seize every moment. His immediate spree in Beverly Hills was one way to celebrate, but the real focus was clearly on family. After all, you can replace jewelry or clothes, but you can't recapture lost time with the people you love. Fan reaction has been split between sheer joy and lingering curiosity. How will this close call affect Rocky's music? Will the couple share more about their ordeal in interviews or songs? And perhaps the biggest question, could the tension of this experience push Rihanna and Rocky to make more definitive plans for their future, whether that's marriage, more children, or creative collaborations? In the end, this roller coaster of a trial reminds us that fame offers no shield from life-altering challenges. ASAP Rocky found himself on the brink of losing everything, only to be pulled back into the embrace of loved ones at the last possible moment. Rihanna stood by him, day after day, showing the world a steadfast devotion that no rumor or controversy could break. Their story highlights how quickly fortunes can change. One moment you're on trial, the next you're shopping on Rodeo Drive, celebrating a triumph that could have ended in tragedy. At the heart of it all lies a powerful reminder: no matter how high-profile your life may be, the bonds of family and love can outshine any spectacle. As Rocky and Rihanna move forward, their future remains bright, but forever shaped by this close call. Whether you're a fan of their music, their style, or just their love story, this is one chapter that proves it doesn't take much for everything to hang in the balance. The real question is, now that the trial is over, how will they use this second chance? The next moves they make, both personally and professionally, might just shock us all over again. So keep your eyes on them, because if this case taught us anything, it's that the spotlight can illuminate surprising truths, and sometimes, a single verdict can change the entire narrative of a star's life. Go ahead and pull your mouse out, scroll all the way down, and click like and subscribe to get my latest tea that will keep your mouth watery. Craving for more, and looking forward to the next sip with me, your favorite host, Jessica. Cheers, love.